The first scream did not come from a person. It came from the clock as its hands twisted backward and blood dripped from the numbers. I knew at that moment that time had shattered and something inside room 314 had noticed me. I was sent to document the abandoned research wing before demolition. The building was silent except for the hum of failing lights. Every step echoed too long, as if the hallway refused to let sound die. At the end of the corridor stood room 314. The door was old iron scratched with symbols carved deep by desperate hands. The air around the door felt colder than the rest of the building. My breath fogged even though the temperature was normal. When I raised my camera, the screen flickered, showing shadows moving where nothing stood. I should have left. Instead, I touched the handle. The moment the door opened, the smell of iron filled my lungs. Blood stained the floor in long dried streaks leading toward the center of the room. The walls were covered in strange circular symbols drawn in black and red. Candles sat melted into the floor, though no flame burned. The door slammed shut behind me. The clock on the wall began ticking backward, fast, then slow, then not at all. Its glass cracked and dark liquid seeped out, running down like tears. I heard whispering from every direction, overlapping voices chanting words I did not understand. A woman stood in the corner where there had been nothing before. She wore a long black dress stitched with symbols and bones. Her hair floated around her head as if underwater. Her eyes were white without pupils. When she smiled, thick blood poured from her mouth, dripping onto her chin and chest. She was a witch. I knew it without being told. She raised her head and looked directly at me. The whispering stopped. Her voice came next, calm and ancient. She said this room existed outside time. She said it fed on moments stolen from the living. She said she was its keeper. The clock screamed again. The witch stepped closer without walking. She glided across the floor, leaving no footprints in the blood. Her mouth opened wider than humanly possible, and more blood spilled out, splashing onto the tiles. She asked me what year it was. I tried to answer, but my voice froze in my throat. Okay? The walls began to breathe, expanding and shrinking like lungs. Shadows crawled across the ceiling, forming twisted figures hanging upside down. The witch laughed softly. She pressed her fingers into her own face and tore the skin open, revealing a second mouth beneath still whispering spells. Blood flooded down her neck. Time snapped. Suddenly, I was standing outside the room again. The hallway looked new and clean. The lights were bright. People walked past me wearing old-fashioned hospital uniforms. No one noticed me. I looked down and saw blood on my hands that was not mine. A bell rang. The door to room 314 opened by itself. Inside, the witch waited, seated in a metal chair bolted to the floor. She was younger now, her skin smooth, her eyes still white. Blood dripped from her lips as she spoke. She said, "This was the first cycle." The room shook violently. I was dragged inside by unseen hands and slammed against the wall. The door sealed shut again. The clock spun wildly. The witch began chanting louder, and the symbols on the walls glowed red. I felt my memories peeling away. Childhood moments collapsed into seconds. Years vanished in heartbeats. The witch fed on them, opening her mouth wide as blood poured endlessly from her throat. The room drank time through her. She explained between chants that every cycle required a witness, someone to anchor the moment, someone to replace her eventually. The blood on the floor began moving toward me, crawling like living veins. It climbed my legs, burned my skin, seeped into my mouth. I tasted metal and rot. I tried to scream, but only blood came out. The witch stood and placed her hand on my chest. Her fingers were ice cold. She whispered that time was breaking because she was dying. The room demanded a new keeper. Her body began to crack like porcelain. Blood sprayed from her eyes, nose, and mouth. Skin split open and darkness poured out, screaming. The room howled as the clock shattered, sending frozen shards into the air. I was pulled forward into the center of the room. The symbols burned into my skin. Memories of future cycles flooded my mind. Me standing here again, me chanting, me bleeding. The witch collapsed to the floor, smiling as her body dissolved into blood and ash. The room went silent. I was alone. The clock reset itself. The door opened. I stumbled out into the hallway, gasping. The building was abandoned again. My camera lay broken at my feet. My reflection in its cracked lens showed blood dripping from my mouth. I ran and never returned. Years later, I wake every night at the same time, tasting blood. My clocks spin backward. My walls breathe. I hear chanting in my sleep. Tonight, I am standing in a familiar hallway, holding a key marked 314. Blood is running down my chin, and I know the room is ready. Time broke inside that room, and now it lives inside me. If you enjoyed this story, then please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for listening.